protection through business impact analysis in a cyber world, a 3-part series. Welcome to this presentation. I'm Dr. Sharon L. Burton. Note we have the agenda displayed, some of the key points. We'll go over the participant learning outcomes. We'll talk about the methodology, the design, but most of all, we're going to walk through the case study with you. Let's review the abstract. The purpose of this text is to understand the business impact analysis needed to guard against cyber attacks and survive attacks if and when they occur. Business impact analysis, an accepted risk management term for the process of defining the proportional significance or criticality of elements, determines the prioritization, planning, preparation, and other activities of business management strategy. First, the researcher presented business impact analysis as key planning, preparatory, and related activities proposed to confirm that companies' significant business functions will continue to operate notwithstanding grave disasters or incidents of cyber terrorism, or will be recovered to an operational state within a reasonably short period. This research showed how BIA and procedure provides a multiplicity of benefits. Conclusions were that the development of a BIA structure to guide analysis, as well as a strategy, determination, and documentation. This text offers to learners, practitioners, and academicians information for long and short-term business impact analysis risk and BIP management strategies. The goal of this presentation is to offer understanding of the business impact analysis needed to guard against cyber attacks and survive attacks if and when they occur. Notice is the audience that this presentation can affect. Business leaders, administrators, faculty, practitioners, strategists, technologists, all of these people whom would be associated with business process improvement. And of course, there are others who could be impacted. Noted are the objectives. The participant learning outcomes are to be able to state the need for business impact planning, preparatory, and related activities proposed to add protection for grave disasters or incidents of cyber terrorism, to explain how business impact analysis and procedure provides a multiplicity of benefits, and to expound on the development of a BIA structure to guide analysis, strategy, determination, and documentation. Key outcomes for this presentation. The methodology is qualitative action research. Here, this type of research facilitates examination of a phenomena inside its context, using a variety of data informants to safeguard that the concern is not investigated through one lens. On the other hand, a multiplicity of lenses, which permits for numerous facets of the phenomena to be discovered and comprehended. The designs for this study is case study and intrinsic exploratory. I believe case study explains itself. Let's look a little bit more about intrinsic exploratory. This type of design was chosen because the researcher has a genuine interest to gain better understanding of the case with the dynamics within the case. The exploratory aspect examines those circumstances in which the intervention being assessed has no clear or single set of outcomes. That is key here. As mentioned, this is going to be. Let's take a more narrowed view. This action research study is analyzing Sigma Point, a small company in Florida. There are 3 points: to determine its key business functions, 3, determine the processes necessary to recover such functions, and describe the unprecedented negative effects of a major change on an organization. Now, data is being collected and amassed, employing the details to construct a bigger conclusion. This case study provides an in-depth look at one test subject named Sigma Point. Again, this will be a 3-part series. The current state of the project. That means what is happening right now with Sigma Point. One thing, they have no framework or model for business impact analysis. 2, no framework or model for standing up a business impact strategy office. 3, there was a directive. What was that directive? Specified that Sigma Point shall employ compulsory capabilities to copiously institutionalize continuous process improvement, specifically business impact planning. Part 1 of this 3-part investigation. Noted is the business impact analysis list of questions. You'll notice there are a lot of questions on this page. These questions are documented to draw out needed details. Let me say, these are some of the questions, but not all of them. Please take the time to review these questions. These questions will be critical and very important to your business impact analysis. From the business impact analysis, we wrap into business impact strategy. The development of a business impact analysis strategy remains significant in this digital age. It is vital that a BIA strategy be determined and then communicated throughout the organization by all business partners. And that is key. All partners, all key stakeholders. Work each step with equal importance. Larger organizations or organizations with multiple sites, some steps apply to some sites more than other sites. Please keep this in mind. Business impact strategy. Determine probable business and operational impact of a disaster or incident or cyber terrorism that otherwise might have interrupted services or production to all areas of the operation. Clarification of assumptions and expectations is critical. Let me repeat that. Clarification of assumptions and expectations are critical, and the information has to be written. Let's look at another piece of the business impact strategy. Business impact strategy. The team needs key understanding. Leaders must understand risk and be able to aggressively manage identified risk factors. As part of the analysis, the risk factors have to be documented. The strategy must offer building occupants a shelter if they must be designated in place. Also, strategy has to consider the different types of risk, all human capital, information technology, locations. All of these points have to be understood by the team. Business impact planning. What is this? This is a forward movement instrument intended to be deployed in the event a large portion of workers are overwhelmed and affected. Now, we've talked about developing the business impact analysis, which is a part of the strategy, but we have to do what's called the planning. I recommend using Deming's model, plan, do, study, act. Throughout, you're going to plan, we're going to review the data, we're going to study the data, we're going to be documenting this information, we're going to be verifying this information through every phase. What are the phases? We have business impact analysis, recovery strategies, plan development, then system user testing and people exercises. All of these things must be done in terms of business impact planning. This type of planning offers details of the steps an organization should take to resume its key products and or services. Now, as a part of this overall planning and what must be wrapped into the strategy is a plan that includes persons with disabilities. Employers must provide reasonable accommodations to persons with disabilities in order to perform the role in that they are hired. More information on this is documented in an actual white paper that you can review. Next, let's talk about the disaster recovery plan. Disaster management plans are particularly created to augment the readiness of the emergency department for the purpose of diminishing the impact of disaster or incident. Such a plan diminishes the need for excessive decision making during the time of a disaster or an incident. Now, let's talk about what the DRP should cover. We have 5 points here. How to handle diverse types of disasters. And you may have thought the plan would just talk about 1 point. No, we want to be sure we cover diverse types of disasters. Fire is a little bit different from water, which could be a little different from a hurricane, which could be a little different from an earthquake. So you understand now why we have to look at diverse types of disasters. We want to look at specific recovery team descriptions. We want to specify that. Communication techniques during a disaster. We want to ensure those are in place. Everybody knows what they are. We also need a manual workaround, a multiple manual workarounds. And this would be wrapped into the key BIA points. Then we want to talk about restoring IT functionality. And of course, all of these things are on a timeline. And those timelines were listed in that list of questions. It asks you to please focus on what are key timelines as you work through developing your BIA. Now, the BIA has to include resilience insurance. Organizations' insurance policies do not cover all losses. You want to include indemnity in the event of business interruption. Also, such insurance policies cannot replace customers which may move to other companies to reduce their impacts because they may have lost or had an interruption of services and production. I noted are some of the references. Again, this presentation is coming from a larger white paper. I'm asking and encouraging you to take a look at that white paper. Again, my name is Sharon L. Burton. If you have questions, you can reach me at sharon.burton@slburton.com or sharonlburton2@comcast.net. Thank you for your time and have a great day.